it's time for me to give you a rotten apple bite size to the live action Snow What? Psych! No, not this time. Not this time. Actually, I was kind of like planning to watch that one, but unfortunately, I wasn't mentally prepared to it. I couldn't do it. Maybe I will do it when I have more courage and cash. And also, I think that this one can wait until I can borrow it from the library. So instead of giving my money to this live action reboot that is tanking at the box office, I decided to give my money to something better. For starters, I went to watch The Day the Earth Blew Up one more time. So yeah, I like it so much that it gets a rare treatment that to watch it twice in a movie theater. But also, I decided to actually give a real bite size, but a real painful bite size, to a movie that it was also on my radar, and that is none other than Novocaine. Novocaine was another one of those movies that it felt like it was going to be one of those dumb action films that it caught my attention by the ludicrousness that I had. I think I have kind of like this guilty pleasure of those movies that as long as it is kind of like action-packed, popcorn and all this stuff, I decide to watch. I mean, there's even a Jason Statham film that is coming, I think, this week, and I just decided to watch it. But instead, I decided to. This is the reason I felt like I was going like kind of like too long. And I decided to watch Novocaine. I even took the advantage of that because it was my birthday month. I used a large popcorn and large drink to have it. Because right at the get-go, I gotta say that Novocaine was a popcorn flick worth to watch, and you know what? The introductions have the actor saying that this is a movie that is worth watching on the big screen. I couldn't agree more. So I do agree that even in the most basic of movies, you're gonna get better experience when you watch it on that one. And this one, I just came out really enjoying it. There's nothing much kind of like say. It's just kind of like this basic. It goes by a little bit by the number, but it feels so entertaining and refresh, and that you're just gonna have kind of like this the fun time. So for starters, it has the basic story, but with a little bit of kind of interesting stuff. The story centers on this guy named Nate Quing, I think, Nate King or something like that. He had this nickname called Novocaine. He's played by Jack Quaid, and basically he's a banker, an average Joe, but he has one interesting thing, and that is that he has the disease. I think it was I don't remember what was it called, but it's a really rare condition. And by the way, it does exist. It's a rare condition that doesn't let him feel pain. Which let me tell you, people, some will say that it's a blessing that you can't feel pain, but it isn't, because there is a reason why we feel pain in medical terms. It's because it alerts our body that something is wrong, and he has this condition which is rare. He can, and I know that there's certain degrees, but for the sake of the movie, it's exaggerated that he has to, make certain precautions. Like, for example, he can't eat solid because he doesn't want to bite his tongue, and if it's bleeding, he feels like he's gonna bleed to death. And then, well, he finally lands a date with the girl of his dreams, and she tries to change him for the better, including he gives his first steps on kind of like enjoying life. For example, he's not gonna live lonely, and also he has she helps him to enjoy cherry pie, which is great. And things are going smoothly, but then bank robber they hijack the bank where he works. They kill the manager, and the robbers, they kidnap his the girlfriend, Amber. Her name is Sherry. Her name is Amber, played by Amber Midsummer. And basically, it becomes kind of like this typical guy who gotta save the damsel in distress. It is an action pack, and the movie kind of takes advantage that the guy a lot of painful stuff, mostly because he can't feel pain. I don't. I gotta have to keep moving this because I get annoyed when the computer is silent and all that stuff. But yeah, that's kind of like the basic point. There's nothing kind of like saying that the story is Shakespeare or something like that. I but it works well. You like the character, you like the protagonist. You dislike the villain because the villains are scummy. Really, the kind of guy that you just want them to have their comeuppance. And the acting is actually pretty good for both Jack Quaid and Amber Midthunder. They do a really good job, and concentrating on the main character, I think that he has a lot of heart for considering that he's basically a character who he's pretty much the average Joe. He's not a fighter, but then he goes, but thinking that this girl is gonna change him for the better, he just go all out of his way, and reluctantly he also takes advantage that he has this condition that doesn't make him feel pain, so he goes into really gruesome enduring tasks in order to go with the deal. And boy, that the movie is not shy away, because this movie is brutal. It gets violent. There have some bloody stuff that there's some moment that it kind of makes you like, ugh. Don't worry, it's not as kind of like 100% gross, but still, it still is admirable. And I know that is exaggerating the condition that it has, but for the sake of the movie, let's just go through with it, because it kind of takes advantage that it makes him go through insane moment, and it really turned him, into a freaking badass. That is amazing. Oh yeah, there's also the cops, and of course the villain, who is kind of cartoonishly evil, but at the same time you kind of get this kind of character, that how much of despicable he is. Oh, there's another. We also have Jacob Batalon in this movie. Yeah, Ned from the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, and I like how they use him. He actually comes off being a better character compared to last year's Tarot. Again, I like the guy. I like the actor. He's a good actor. It's just that Tarot didn't use him well, and I don't like him as Ned. I'm very happy to see him, that he's getting his catch on acting, because he has his charm. He's basically kind of a little bit like Michael Pena in a way. That's me trying to put it bluntly. Also, although I would say the cinematography is it has its uses. Sometimes some of the scenarios get a little bit cartoony. For example, there's kind of like a house that is really exaggeratedly booby trap that. It kind of turns it kind of is a little bit in a Home Alone kind of scenario. But at the end of the day, I thoroughly enjoy it as a popcorn film, and it gave me kind of like a big smile on my face. It was entertaining. I did like the characters. I disliked some of the characters. It's a flaw, but I think that this is a very painless movie, even though you're gonna endure some of the things that he goes. So don't worry. The character endures a lot of pain, but I'm sure that movie lover find this movie kind of harmless.